Yo guys, and welcome to the official semi-finals of the LITE Winter Duo Cup, guys. It's gonna be an extra special one today where we had 4 qualifiers, and in those sweaty 4 qualifiers, only the best of 50 made it into semi-finals 1. It is gonna be an interesting afternoon as we look at the schedule we have for you guys in the afternoon. There's gonna be 5 games being played throughout this entire evening. And the prize pool, which will be in the finals, is a crazy 9,000 Rand. First place taking 5,000 Rand. Second taking 2,800. Third taking 1,200. And if we look at the players today, guys, we got so many players in here from tier 1s all the way to the literally sweatiest duos. So Reapsy, Crispy, all of these guys sort of coming in through to the semifinals. It's not going to be an easy one to make it through to the finals. Only the top 25 today, through consistency, will definitely make it into the finals. Now, before we continue with the show and so forth, I'd like to thank everybody for coming through to the stream. If you guys haven't yet, make sure to smash the like button, as well as subscribe and turn on post notifications, because tomorrow at the same time we'll be going live for semifinals too, so you definitely want to get yourself involved within that touch over there. Not only that, guys, but there is a 30-day Exitlag code that will be up for grabs with the giveaway. The mechanics behind that will be communicated quite shortly, so don't worry. If you guys want to grab yourself a Exitlag code and enter into the giveaway, we'll let you know exactly how that can be possible. But for now, enjoy the stream, because we're going to be jumping into game number 1 very shortly. We got the game starting in 2 minutes. Let's thank the sponsors behind the LITE Duo Winter Cup. You, of course, got to thank LITE Gaming for hosting this or sponsoring this event with the Elite Pro Series. Secondly, Exitlag, and thirdly, Suraya, I think. Hopefully I'm not pronouncing it wrong. But it's going to be an interesting afternoon, guys. Some of the best players in South Africa are in this qualifier. We are looking at CK, we are looking at Travis, we are looking at Crispy, we are looking at Neymar, Rejects, all these guys, Woke as well in this qualifier, guys. So probably one of the sweatiest moments will be happening in the first couple of games. Will that consistency and sweat continue throughout the 5 games is the question. We all know South Africa loves to get more aggressive after game number 3 so that they can try and make a comeback and whatnot to get into the final situations. So I'm seeing a lot of you guys join into the stream. First and foremost, thank you guys so much for coming through. So yeah, if we can get some predictions in the chat, that would be extremely amazing. Who do you guys think will be grabbing the win today? Will it be CK and Bojo going through to the finals with a win overall? Or are we going to be looking at an underdog such as Sleazy and Solo Nike coming through in first place? Because the RNG, when it comes to Fortnite, not everyone is going to be taking that first place position, but it's going to be a certain consistent team with a bit of luck on their end to be grabbing that. Now I'm just going to have a look at whether or not these games will be starting. Let's see exactly what will be going on over here. And just DMing all these people right now. Okay, there we go. So the games will be starting, and we got almost every single POV up for grabs right now. Neymar and them are actually playing in tomorrow's qualifier, so that's going to be interesting from their end, guys, whether or not they will be making it into their positions. But I can definitely tell you it's going to be an interesting play for these guys over here. While we just finalize some of these last bit of adminning. How you guys doing? Welcome. So Bojo CK obviously being one of the great players and having a exceptional performance in the last week of FNCS. Well, if you guys did not catch that yesterday, you can definitely go and grab it on LITE's YouTube channel. There was a immaculate gameplay. The only team, however, in South Africa to make it all the way to Heat, and you have to give a round of applause and recognition to this because it is the Fortnite South African scene, is Storm Testros, Keaton, and Havocs being the only team make it all the way. The other teams who did exceptionally well across the board was, of course, Neymar and his trio, and then Gloves and his trio. But unfortunately, we've come literally to the end where this is not a reality that we are seeing, where some of the other teams just didn't make it into this position. So, yeah, will we see the same sort of tough moments for these Tier 1 pros in the LITE Duo Winter Cup? We'll have to wait and find out. But yeah, any favorites that you guys have, I'm going to be reading out some of your guys' stuff right now. We're looking at Jello, Let's Go, Top World Quals. 25 teams go through to the finals. So that's going to be interesting scene over there. Code is out, guys. Code is out. If you guys would like to go, code is out. So make sure you guys are in there, and that will help you guys get in. Now, of course, guys, if you need some assistance or whatever, make sure to message Jade. If you don't message Jade or Ruan, then you won't get help, bro. So yeah, Just, just saying. That's all, guys. Oh, just helping out Jade a little bit on our end. As you guys can see, again, thank you to the sponsors. Zurea, I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not quite sure. LITE Gaming for organizing this massive event. Their first collaboration with the LITE Pro Series on a competitive environment. I don't know if how OG you guys are, or if you guys did remember the Zone Wars collaboration with the LITE Pro Series and LITE Gaming, but this is their first competitive tournament to you guys. And I can promise you guys, we will definitely be seeing a lot more. So you may as well hit that subscribe button if you guys would like to see some of these contents and so forth, casting gameplays going out on the platform. And then as well to Exitlag. Now, the battle boss is hooting at us to say we are good to go. So we're going to go jump on board with none other than the latest signing, Temperat, who has been an exceptional performer in the esports scene of Fortnite South Africa, who has now joined LITE Gaming. So let's go jump on board with their POV right now, and then we can have them over there. So let's do that. So there we go, guys. The battle bus jumping directly from the areas here. You can see they're marking their famous Holly Land POI. We all know that they're gonna come out with a little bit of parasites as well. Some of the best gameplay we've seen from Temperat is with a parasite on his head. The man is an untouchable player when that comes into play. He knows how to clutch up in tense situations when it's so congested in between the buildings and so forth. Whether there's 4 players on him as a solo, he's able to look left, right, center and get those headshots and those clutch moments. It's Temperat and Zorro who will be landing at Holly with 86 players going into semifinals 1. Who will come out through with game number 1, guys? And talk about the prize pool, 9,000 Rand going into the finals. The finals happening on the 28th of August, and you're going to be seeing some of the best games over there as well within the LITE Winter Duo Cup over here, guys. And I can assure you the LITE Winter Duo Cup is just a tournament under the LITE Champion Series. If you'd like to find out more about that, guys, make sure to follow the LITE Gaming socials down in the description. If you'd like to message LITE Gaming to find out more about the LITE Gaming Champion Series. But this is definitely first of their division, landing at the same house to make sure that they are safe and secured for the rest of the gameplay. But it does look like they're a bit uncontested, using his environment to rotate faster. Very smart play coming in from Temperat over there. Obviously, I mean, landing at Holly, you're going to learn the secrets and strats behind the environment. And I'm not quite sure what you could call these cubes, but it's almost like zero gravity rotation. And if you jump, it just sort of gives you a double movement in there in a way, you could say. Just look at his off-spawn loot, looking really juicy. Let's go jump on board with other LITE Gaming members. It is going to be the LITE CK and Bojo, obviously jumping into the areas over here. And you can see it's quite successful for them. They're going to be jumping around Creamy Stacks, I believe, and already they've got a van for themselves, and they got that 200 HP, now making a rotation to the special chest, I believe. Oh no, not gonna grab that. So their loadout looking really good. I mean, it's got that orc, it's got that blue pump, med kits, especially being that this is a team mode game, you need to have the medkits. In fact, in any team mode or any mode of Fortnite, whether it is a solos, duos, or trios, either having mobility or white healed somewhere across the board will definitely help you out across the board. You can see that one of the team members themselves have the floater bull, but there's parasites to the left of CK over here, so that's gonna help them with mobility right there. So there you go. And now we will see exactly what powerful gameplay this is able to bring to the aspects of Fortnite. And we've seen some really like strategic gameplays across the board with the Parasite, whether it comes to movement and, you know, running out of mats, jumping from one build to the other. They've really done it all. I mean, making their own like sort of death map in the end games. We've seen some really good clutch moments with the Parasite, and I can't wait to unveil all that for you guys. Get Swished is getting an elimination in the kill feed, which is amazing from his end over there. Let's go jump on board with Swish and Stale to see exactly what is happening on the boards for them. Does look like we missed out on those eliminations, but it's 2 for 2, 2 kills right now on the board for Stale and Swish. And these guys have been doing really well in the qualifiers. They performed extremely decent in their first game. They were just doubly keen across the board, trying to get as much eliminations as they can possibly. So this is definitely a force to be reckoned with. They're here to set dominance in the semifinals 1. As you guys can already see, that semifinals 1 going in favor to him already, with those off-spawn fightings getting in clutch. It's not always easy, but it comes in favor for them. Who is first right now? Guys, the tournament, this is game number 1. We have no idea who has taken that first place position, but we'll have to wait and see after the game is done. But 77 players, only 11 have been eliminated across the board of zone number 1. Let's go and jump on board with more POVs just to see an example of where all these other guys will be jumping on board. So Bojo is actually in a fight. Let's go see what Bojo is happening over there, and we'll see whether or not we can get that gameplay for you guys. Does look like he's taking that fight right now. Oh, does look like Bojo's gonna... CK is gonna get hit very hard. He does get himself out of a sticky situation. He has the time to heal up, but the aggression is still on him. Very much separated at this point. Bojo taking his own fight. CK as well taking his own fight as it stands right now. But he's sort of given himself some time to heal up and taking a 50 pot as well as a couple minis and grabbing the time to take a medkit. How is Bojo on the other hand doing? It does look like he's able to meet up to grab himself some time to heal up as well over there. So now the team is together, and this is where they perform the best, is when they stick together like glue right now, trying to get different angles so that they can have an advantage over the gameplay. He lines up that shotgun, but unfortunately the POV is not going to be on that player right now. Grabbing as much walls as he can possibly to corner his oppositions. The mat count as well is coming out extremely low right now. They need to end this fight as soon as possible. Oh, getting tagged for 24. Only 115 mats right now on CK's body as Bojo makes the rotation behind to the side of CK right now. He does get the wall though, really good. Loses the wall yet again. They're either going to need to disengage from this fight or end it as quick as possible. Zone is pushing up in 1 minute 53 seconds. Their mat count's looking quite tough as well. Eagle shots coming in from Bojo. Obviously trying to keep their distance between these oppositions, because by all means they did get heavily damaged early on in the fight, and that meant, you know, healing up, taking as much consumables as possible. So they know they're up against some really good players, and they're playing it very cautious right now. He literally has no AR ammo, so even if he does get a good shot on his opposition right now, it will mean that he can't get to a secondary shot on his opposition. That one tag on the shot could change everything for him though. So it's come to the moment where these guys are literally storm fighting And we have no idea how long this is going to be, but it does look like retreat comes in from Bojo. That's in a bush, which could possibly be strat. Bojo is low, so he's going to need to use a medkit. Does look like they're gonna be getting out of the zone right now, so we can go over to other players right now in the tournament, and maybe we can see whether or not that was a race, or it does look like race has been taken out. Let's go over to Vibes and Exploit, see what's happening on their end. We'll show you guys that POV in just a second. But again, guys, if you guys are just joining up the stream, thank you so much. Remember to hit that subscribe button, the like button, turn on post notifications, because you won't want to miss the live stream happening at 3 p.m. tomorrow. But for these guys, they make a decent rotation for themselves outside retail row. They're using the Spire as well as the two builds above them to sort of make that rotation right now. So let's go over to B-Boy as well, who's making some zone fights for himself. Does perhaps looks like that could have potentially be it was B-Boy and Bojo, because if you look at the zone where they were fighting, it's quite close to Tomato Town Head, or the Tomato Town restaurant. So they're gonna use this time in the zone to sort of heal up right now and gather up some materials and so forth, everything needed to make the rotation next. But they need to hurry up if they want to see themselves stay alive, because the zone starts to shrink yet again in 35 seconds, and once that zone shrinks, I believe it is a 2-ticker, and that zone is extremely far. So they need to start making their way into the zone right now. Let's see how this plays out for them. Let's go over to Proxy while we let the players rotate right now. It does look like, however, we were just late and we missed that fight situation, but still came through with the clutch, and you guys are going to be able to see that right now. He's going to revive his teammates right now, Proxy and Poxy. So two different players, guys, Proxy and Poxy. So let's see what's happening over there. Okay, so he's literally waiting for the very last minute to revive his teammate, which can be scary. I mean, you don't know who would push you in those scenes. But going over to Rejects and Travis, in this situation over here, guys, game number 1 does look like they're situated just on the kill of Misty. Very comfortable position they find themselves in, and they can only wait until the next zone sort of rotates in. Well, there's no action happening on board over there. Let's go see how CK and Bojo are doing, whether they've managed to make that rotation in. And it does look like they are very much comfortable with the zone still sort of pushing in from behind, though. So they can make the rotation right now. It does yet again have the Parasite on his head, which seems to be interesting, seeing that there's Parasite still very much late game. I wonder if it's not the same Parasite on Bojo. Maybe they just swapped heads or whatever the case may be. But yeah, there goes the zone rotation into the game right now. And we did see Travis and Rejects to the left on the kill. Mat count looking very terrible at this point. Want to see whether or not Boja has his own parasite, because it would be interesting to see how they perform in the end games. For LITE Gaming, obviously would be a mega clutch to see CK take game number 1, Tempera take game number 1, whatever the case may be. But it does look like they just swap parasites to make the rotations quick. Let's go over to Gloves and Psycho, guys. One team that knows how to do well in duos, and we can see they're taking up some action right now. Bring that over to you guys in just a bit. "62 players going into zone 4, if I'm not mistaken. This is zone number 3, so you can see they're trying to make the rotation into center, sort of, so that they can be in a good position. And now we are down to 60 players. He's got that sniper in Gloves. He's been a phenomenal player with a sniper. If you haven't seen him in the past, you'll definitely see him here today. Either getting a headshot sniper or body snipe. Whether game 1 or game 5, you'll have to wait and see, guys. Positioned himself in a very decent place. Let's go over to B-Boy to see whether or not they are alive, whether they made it out. The question. So they are looking very good, looking really well in that rotation. I was a bit scared for them, but it does look like they came out successfully. So 58 players, we may potentially see, hopefully, a bit of Storm Surge come into play. Let's go over to LITE Lord Kratos, who's also in the finals over here, semi-finals with Cole XVII, and they are here looking really much healthy, needing a bit of white heals across the board, however. Not white heals, blue shields. They now need to make a max rotation for themselves. Goliath Travis picks up an elimination in the kill feed for himself. Using double ramp, using quite a lot of mats over there. They can farm up, which is really good. It does look like he's gonna use the rotation on the hill. The player sort of seems to come over here. Will they be fighting is the question. It does look like they're gonna be taking in some action. So Lord Kratos, as well as Cole, now in a tough position as they find themselves in an unexpected fight. They boxed up successfully. They need to stop making the rotation though, because in 10 seconds that zone's starting to move, and the pressure of the zone's definitely gonna be felt because there's 2 ticker, if I'm not mistaken already. It's a 5 ticker. Oh no. Does look like the team's gonna find themselves being eliminated to zone over here. Yeah, they're gonna definitely find themselves being dead. I don't see how they can get out of this anytime soon. Those are oppositions around over here. So they're gonna get tagged up quite severely right now. Now down to 17 blue and 75 white. Kratos needs to make that rotation. Now fully cracked and 59 HP. Mat count also looking quite tough. Kratos needs to make the rotation into zone still. Does find himself in opposition in the front over here. A good opportunity to get attack on the player. but Cole and Kratos focusing solely on the rotation. It does look like they finally get in. And here I thought they would have been dead, but still, May has well fallen dead because their count and mat count is very, very terrible. Only 8 builds on Kratos' name right now. And he has another max pool for himself. He's going to get eliminated. Cole staying alive somehow or another. Does look like Cole, however, is in a server focus, and he's going to find himself getting eliminated and off the bat over there. So GG's to him. Now on board with Popcool and LITE. Yes. They got a max zone rotation, and now we get into the fun part right here, guys. This is where the action unfolds. This is where it gets exciting. This is the end game. The first 50-50 moving, not moving zone, but first 50-50 location has been formed. Popcorn and LITE trying to take a dead side rotation, seeing that they have no mobility on their end. They do, however, got 3 medkits, which will definitely help to sit in zone in that end game aspects if needed right now. But a really good dead side rotation coming in play from Popcool and LITE as they make this rotation being unfocused, no attention brought to them whatsoever. And there you go, now in the final rotation of that zone, they've managed to do it successfully. Let's go on board with Rejects and Travis to see how they are doing, whether they positioned on height or not. Let's see if that is the play right now. You can see the players are in zone. They are sitting with 4 eliminations as well. So Travis finding himself in a really good position with those kill points. Those kill points will definitely help a lot going into the final games and so forth, or the final moments of game number 1. We've got 1 second until that zone starts forming, and it is a max pool for them. But they're happy because why? They got a launch pad to make those first moving zone rotation with 42 players alive right now. Not looking like we'll get that storm surge activations, especially seeing how the array is, the mountain array is. It's going to be quite a tough rotation for a couple of players, especially those without the launch pad mobility and so forth. Even without those with parasites or red peppers, just going to find themselves in a tough play. So launch pad used, not even needing to use their own. They're able to find one on the oppositions right now, and he's going to get absolute beamed all the way to 63, 43 HP right now. And it does look like he finds himself in a tough position over there. Rejects needs to find the time to kill Love. Wolkie is the question as Travis and Rejects now unfold together. Oppositions on their end. They go in for the low launch. Another launch pad in place, but that's going to be tough. He does manage to use it, however. Now on the lower grounds, he goes in for the frag. Will he pick up this knock? He does indeed. And he gets a launch pad that he can utilize for himself. Needs to meet up with Travis. Travis making those solo rotations. Travis, on the other hand, he picks up himself an elimination as well. Nice, I think this is Bojo and CK if I'm not mistaken. But Rejects tries to get himself out of there, and he does so indeed. Travis does get knocked out. So Rejects now needs to make a solo play for himself, heading into the wrong direction, getting touched by zone. Now onto 11 HP. The Tug Cannon still needs to reload, so it's not really looking quite fancy on the board here for Rejects and Travis. Still 17 players remaining. Let's go see whether or not we can get a LITE CK POV or even a Temperat and Zoro POV right now. There's a LITE CK. It does also look like he's going to be on the rotation as a solo. So I was wrong. The place to kill Travis and Rejects was not a LITE CK and Boja had all different skins all together. So right now, however, CK left alone as a solo, not that much white HP. Let's see what will be happening. Does look like finding people to his left and right. He needs to stop making that rotation. I don't know why is he breaking through there. Oof. Oh, he's gonna get one pump. He's faced with the pump over there. Let's go over to Piv, as Piv is the one player who's also still alive in this situation. Oh, it does look like he's just gotten eliminated over there. Let's watch this preview. It's Rejects still alive in this one. Might as well go over to Rejects right now. See how his solo clutch gameplay can be. But to already get into his end game just as it is, that is a huge dub in the books. He's gonna get heavily pressured, however, and get attack gameplay on him. So Rejects finding himself very much now on little HP. Player jumps directly into his box and is unable to secure himself in the end games, and he's gonna leave that lobby immediately. Unfortunately, we won't have any POV for you guys. Let's see whether Popcool's alive. No, Popcool's dead. And B-Boy actually wins the game over there. So game one, a bit of a mixed emotions as everyone across the board sort of dies out quite quickly, and that resulted in a weird way to end game number one. Hopefully we can try get the winning POV in the next game. But talk about Rejects getting into those very last moments as a solo. We should have stuck on him because those solo clutch plays would have been amazing to see. He grabbed himself 3 eliminations, and across the board it did look like they had 9 eliminations altogether, which was really juicy. CK himself as well, sort of making his way all the way to 5th. Piv making his way to 3rd. So still literally a little bit of clutch plays across the board over there, and we're literally going to be seeing who has taken first place position after game number one within a short break that we have right now. And again, guys, if you guys are joining the stream, make sure to share it across all social media platforms. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, as well as turn on post notifications. Love to see more of you guys join up here, showing your favorites their support. So without wasting any more time, guys, let's go and take that short little break. We'll see you guys in just a bit. Okay, guys, now after that a massacre that we witnessed across the board, we're gonna have to see exactly who came in first, etc. And it does look like it's an interesting gameplay. But before we do go into further that and so forth, welcome, guys. Hope you guys are all doing good. Want to say a huge thank you to each and every one of you that has shown up to the stream and left a like, subscribed, and turn on post notifications. If you guys are one of those guys, you guys are absolute rad. And then to the sponsors of the event, Exitlag, LITE Gaming, and Zarea, who have come through to organize a massive 9,000 Rand prize pool, which will go across the board for top 3 teams. First place being 5,000, second being 2,800, and third being 1,200 Rand. The second game, I believe, has started or will be taking part anytime soon, and we'll be jumping on board with those players over there. Then, guys, we are looking now at the leaderboard, and for game number 1, we had Popcool and Latte grab and steal first place under the belt from B-Boy, even though B-Boy had grabbed the Vicroy. But B-Boy only won the game with 1 single kill, so they played it safe, they played it passive, and that earned them 4th place on the leaderboard. And second, it has to be Travis and Rejects with 62 points. In third, it is LVXC and Xylo and Delex with 60 points. And fourth is Beepo and Morg, who we just mentioned right there. Perfenix, Smiley, Seamly in fifth over there with 56 points. Psycho and Glubs in sixth with 52. In seventh is Vibes and Exploit. In eighth is Bojo and CK. In ninth is Cod and Davs. And in 10th is Potosh and Alter. So these teams are battling it out literally for the chance to get into the finals, where it will be a 9,000 Rand prize pool. And I can tell you it's not going to be easy in the finals, because we're already looking at a mix of change between some of these players, which really comes down to the question, like, what are we going to be witnessing in finals? Will we see the same consistency across the board as we are seeing in semifinals? Remember as well, guys, that a whole entire 25 players from semifinals to tomorrow will be making their way into the finals position. So it's not going to be easy over there. But we do got a couple POVs now, guys, from these players that are fighting off spawn, etc. Let's go see what they are looking like while we wait for them to queue up. So a couple players still need to get the code and so forth to queue up. And I wonder why you guys struggle so much using Unite. Like, we've been using Unite now for almost 2 months. Shouldn't be a case of problem for you guys when it comes down to Unite. A lot of the scrims as well, Alpha scrims uses Unite. It's as simple as reacting and then getting the code over there. So if you guys could help and make that quicker, would be much more appreciative. But the game is going to be starting anytime soon. So let's see exactly what that will be looking like. I'm going to read you guys chat right now and see what you guys say. So Smile Dog says clearly not Jello. Oof. Did I get a haircut? This happened so long ago. Noted quit. Yeah, definitely noted quit. Brazil just got 4 kills in top 12 as a solo on 300 ping. That's amazing stuff right over there. And that's what you really want to get, is those consistencies, those clutch moments, so that you guys can grab as much points as you guys can physically can going into the end games. But we want to hear more from you guys. Who do you think will be grabbing first place overall on semifinals 1? So far, it is Popcorn and Latte who have taken that first place position. I wonder how many eliminations they got across the board, and we can actually have a look at that. So let's see what that eliminations across the board was for them. I mean, it had to be something massive, or maybe even coming third with those massive amounts of kills meant that they take first place position. So it is third with 10 eliminations, and for Rejects, they had 12 if I'm not mistaken. Let's see exactly what they had over there. So it's Travis. So Travis had 9 eliminations and 4th. And then, yeah, so couple just of tail for you guys. But Xylo and Delex as well, popping off with 2 and 5 eliminations. It shows to say, guys, that these players need to be consistent across the board in terms of how they play and so forth. So let's go jump on board now with Havix and Les as they jump into an off-spawn battle. Okay, hope you guys do enjoy game number 2. Let's get rid of that over there and then show you guys Havix and Les. So really, these guys have to clutch up off spawn if they want to see themselves in a fighting position. You guys think they win? So it does look like a slurpy swamp for Havix and the teams right now. And it's going to be interesting across the board what happens over there. How they participate and where or what goes into play. But the Slurpy Swamp has sort of been damaged due to the, the UFO. I don't know if it's been repaired across the board. It does look sort of different than what it was when it was damaged. So it does look like they are, safe to say, not contested in this position over here. But let's go over to Piv. You can see what is happening over there on their off-spawn situations. We are being notified that Piv and them are in the off-spawn game fighting. So let's see exactly what happens over there. So actually uncontested, Piano and Lurker seem to be the other team that are contested right now, and we can bring their POV to you guys, and you can actually see they are in a bullfight, sort of taking some long range fights right there, and that is what's definitely gonna keep you guys entertained with the content of Spawn over here. Piano and Lurker very low on HP. You can see Lurker almost on 10 HP himself. Oh, he's gonna get tagged up, but he still has a couple minutes for himself. Now going all the way to low ground. It does look like he's gonna get eliminated over here. The Piano and Lurker not playing it smart off spawn. They do get an elimination on Camo Riley though, so that's gonna help out quite a bit. Nice, there you go. Clutch plays coming in from Lurker and Piano to survive off spawn. A very scuffed situation for them to get into this position and fight off spawn over there. So very GG's for them. Make it all the way and survive. You can see Bojo and CK making the rotation into Orchard. It's where they had their dramatic long fight against B-Boy and Morg, which in fact B-Boy somehow managed to grab the win, even though they were very much in a scuffed position. So now Bojo and B-Boy, Bojo and CK make the rotation above the player right now. They drop all the way down into the shop. Oh, his head does get eliminated, or the parasite does get eliminated, and you have to say a very much OP item for them, because that was a headshot, a double dink maybe even so, but he got no damage inflicted onto him. Nice 26 damage from CK. Now the team separated, they can get into a more aggressive gameplay for themselves. Lining up those shots, they are being a lot more aggressive this time around. I mean, especially when you have the team separated, it's really good. PK takes a couple one apple for himself to heal up. You have to be a really good player to think about such pressure things in those moments. He gets into the box, he piece controls the player, and he manages to eliminate Morg over there. So GG's across that board. Now you can tell that B-Boy and them are up against the CK and Bojo, because CK and Bojo are not giving in quite easily as they did last time around. They're playing a lot more aggressive, but for B-Boy and Morg, it was that disengagement type of gameplay that he did get from his teammate. So they were needed to stick together a lot more in the fight, I would say. But for Morg and B-Boy, unfortunately, game number 2 does not look too much in their favor. So now they need to sort of come back and make a good gameplay for game number 3, which we'll have to see what that means though. So board on Stale and Havocs right now. Stale and the team. Oh, so they do have that off-spawn fighting coming into play. This looks like. So Stale and Swish actually landing at Boney Burbs. I'm not sure if Crispy and Reepsy are landing at Coral Castle. I do believe that is the play for them. Let's go over to Vibes and Exploit as to make the rotations around Steam stacks. Actually seen CK and Bojo finally getting that full elimination now on B-Boy, as they have 2 eliminations to their name. B-Boy and them obviously not happy about that, but they need to work up a better strategy. Maybe Looter faster, head out of Orchard very quickly. Maybe that could be the play. So a really good start to the LITE Gaming game number 2 for LITE CK and Punisher's Bojo, as they grabbed themselves 2 successful eliminations across the board over there. And that is definitely going to be well. But if you look now on the team, it does look like he doesn't have any AR to actually make any rotation. Let's go over to Gloves and Cycle, which we didn't see too much of from in game number 1. Fun fact is that they had a tough situation against Ricey in the qualifiers, and actually only making top 17 in the qualifiers, if I'm not mistaken, Psycho and Gloves. But qualifiers mean nothing. If you're able to get into semifinals, that's where it sort of counts a bit. It's finals where you really want to play your heart out, where you really want to commit to the best as you guys can possibly, to try grab first place, second or third, because that's where the prize pool stands. That's where everything sort of counts the most. You can see one team had found a llama for themselves. Very much happy over there. Him and Zoro, who actually placed 19th or 17th in game number 1, have a lot to show for game number 2. Obviously, being in the position they were in, they need to clutch up now for game number 2 to bring in why they deserve to be among the best in the finals and so forth, and to show who they are to the competitive scene, more so show that consistency across the board. But again, it's semifinals right here, guys. We can make mistakes. We don't need to own up to, but those mistakes we can definitely learn from to implement in the finals. And it's a good rotation over here. Bit of a jumpy, rough one for him. But yeah, Zoro and Temperat right now taking these rotations on the far skirts over here, where it does seem to be some dead side rotation for them. Does look like Glubs gets an elimination in the kill feed. Let's go jump on board with him quickly as we see them wipe out the entire duo over there. They make a jump for that launch pad so that they can W key right now, because I believe it was a headshot snipe. No, it wasn't. Couldn't have been, because he doesn't have a snipe shot in there. But Psycho and them now very much aggressive. Glubs also putting on the front foot right now. They want to get their double eliminations and use a launch pad to do so, and that's Cold XV, as well as Light Lord Kratos, who's gonna get eliminated to the Wraith and the hands of Glubs and Psycho. It's a different ball game in competitive gameplay, and you can definitely see how aggressive these players can be when they choose to switch on that W key format. And it does look like they're finding themselves maybe in a third-party position. Psycho trying to line up a couple shots on his end. He finds himself a gift of heaven, and it just disappears. What am I watching? What am I watching? Oh, it's glitched. For a second, I was like, wait, what? You know, he found a gift from Fortnite, and it just doesn't go in favor of him. It disappears. It's a little bit of a glitch on the parasite over there. Pick mats forming up the fences. So the team that they were actually sort of almost third-partying was Vibes in them, but Vibes in them disengaged successfully. And you can see, ooh, just look at that loadout, the gold spaz, green AR. If he can get into an endgame with that loadout, it's gonna look very juicy. So might as well stay on board with Vibes in them going into the endgames. But they very much look good. They're on a decent amount of loadout, 2 big pots, 6 minis, 2 medkits, a launch pad, max mats. Like, what more can a team ask for in this position over here? Exploit almost having his head chopped off. It does look like they're gonna get W keyed in a weird position. Trying to line up a petrol bomb, which could be a highly big mistake. Nice 21 damage. They can W key this now. Couple third-party shots. Unfortunately, they're unable to do so. Let's go back to CK and Bojo, as they still have the very 2 eliminations that they got last time around on B-Poi and Borg, but it does look like they're finding themselves in a sort of doubly key on retrieve. Nice 50 damage over there. No need for an AR. DK knows how to utilize that to his best advantage. Question is, will they go in for the doubly key into the storm is the question. Still getting doubly keyed right now, and of course they're trying to prevent the launchpad plays to come in, but they're gonna utilize their own over here. And unfortunately losing trail and getting dealt a lot of damage over here, but they can box up, eat these cabbages, which is a really good decision from CK. And it does look like there's a good amount of loadouts over there. A big pot for himself as well. Havoc supposedly below Surge, so let's go see what's happening over there. I don't think Surge will activate in this position because, I mean, we're already down to 49 players. But if it were to activate, it would have been a bit scary for him because he had not had dealt enough damage across the board. Does look like they gave their W key. They do have a launch pad, so that's going to be really good. Look like they're gonna utilize their first launch pad. They're gonna make the run, and it does look like it's an open run, unattended sort of rotation coming in play for them right now. Talk about a free rotation over here, boys. 47 players remain going into the 50-50 lobby, and they jump into the player's box or attempt to jump in, and there you go. There goes the jump, and it's an elimination on Retrieve, who has been on the hunt for a very long time, from Bojo CK to literally Havoc and his teammate. Yes. 47 players remain right now, and in that first moving zone, we're gonna have 13 players above the threshold, less needing to kill up right now. Eliminations across the board just happening right now, and that is Zen, who's gonna get eliminated on his end. Havoc's in them, really good position. Launchpad placed, and they don't need to waste their own. 78 damage below though, 140. Still a couple A players need to die right now, and hopefully they don't, so that we can witness how they play under pressure. They need a couple tags to eliminate that threshold, but it's a good rotation nonetheless from Havoc. Staying ahead of zone right now. On their own perfect layer, it does look like, however, a stair will be placed, which is not theirs, and they're going to get damaged quite severely. And it's this tree that's sort of scuffing up everything for them. But they can get revived because they stayed ahead of zone right now, which is a really good thing for them. And they get the damage threshold just based off one elimination. Oh, it does look like Havoc is going to get eliminated over here. So, very unfortunate right now. Let's go across the board. Popco and Latte, who are in the first place position as it stands. Let's see how they're doing right now. 26 players. Does look like Popco is a solo. Let's try find a duo. Maybe Gloves and Psycho is a duo right now. It does look like that is the case. And we can see Gloves and Psycho sort of making those rotations right now. Oh, play in the box and Gloves gets one pump. Now Psycho left to make those rotations as a solo. Will he be able to clutch up like we've seen the solo players in game number 1 is the question. On the other hand, CK yet again finding himself as a solo to grab those placement points as he can possibly. He has the chug cannon in the back pocket with a use of 1 left to reload over there. There you go, he's managed to do so successfully. Now sitting on literally 4 eliminations and 12 people remain. He gets a spam in and Swervy gets eliminated. CK doing the most he can as a solo for the team. Punishes Exitlag Gaming going into game number 2. He grabs himself a lot of refreshes over there. Max wood, 100 brick, 100 metal. This is the scenes you want to see yourself in. Will he continue successfully without being interrupted with the oppositions left, right, and center? It does look like he's doing quite good right now. Another solo to find himself over there. That's a 1 pump from Dini. Dini finds himself in a tough position yet again. And look at that, he's got a full chug cannon to his name right now. He's able to rotate and stay ahead of zone, but it does look like he's a bit confused as he doesn't know where zone is headed. Losing quite a lot of white HP and now utilizing the chug cannon to his best ability. But what a clutch we are seeing from CK. Will he get the next elimination or just focus on the solely topping right now? It does look like he lines up a good shot over there. Gets that elimination. Player looking lost and confused, but CK says, I got you. You're mine. And it's a 1v2 situation. DK with a good amount of HP can honestly clutch this one up. He does have the mat count as well. Almost getting boxed up completely. He's gonna die. Ooh, unfortunately, just not in time. You should have utilized the chug cannon to his advantage over there. But unfortunately, that was a GG's in the books and a massive clutch coming in from CK. Second place has a solo. Talk about massive GG's across over the board over there. Guys, what do you have to say about that? I was so excited finally to see some worthy action, some good commentary across the board for game number 2. It can only get better from here on outwards, so let's hope that is the case. If you guys are wondering and maybe hoping for some giveaways, we're going to be opening giveaways throughout the break so that you guys can set up a exclamation mark raffle for a 30-day Exitlag code that will be given out to you guys at the end of the stream. So make sure you guys are ready for your fast fingers to claim your tickets in the raffle, and we'll make note of announcements on that later. A huge thank you to the sponsors Exitlag, Zorea, and Light Gaming for bringing in the LITE Winter Duo Cup. It is a massive, massive tournament that we have on our hands, and still 3 more games to go for the semi-finals one. We'll see you guys in just a bit. What a massive game that we just had on our hands over there. You have to give a huge shout out for CK for honestly doing what is near impossible, grabbing so much eliminations in the end game and clutching to his best of his abilities. Massive shout out to him. GG's across the board. But what does that mean for the leaderboard? Where do these players lie? What is happening over here? Before we do that, guys, we talk about the schedule over here, and I think we are behind the schedule a little bit, but the game is going to be starting in 1 minute. So let's go over there and let's see what will be happening. But before we do so, guys, the finals will be having 9,000 Rand on the leaderboard. 9,000 Rand. First place taking 5,000 bucks for themselves. That is 2,500 Rand each. Second, 2,800 Rand for second. That is 1.4 each. And third is 600 Rand each. 1,200 for the team. Again, the sponsors behind the event is Zorea, LITE Gaming, Exitlag. So a massive thank you to them for bringing a collaboration on the League Pro Series platform, where you guys can expect more to come from them in the division of the LITE Champion Series. So leaderboard, guys, as it stands right now, is Craggy has taken that first place position, which is Cardin Dabs with 110 points. On the cross of the board, also, you got Light CK and Bojo in second. Some massive clutch plays coming in for CK to keep that consistency across the board. For Popcorn and Latte, it's sort of a tough game for them, coming in and dying on 30 points for Psycho and Gloves. Massive clutch also going in favor for Psycho. Tem and Zoro getting a really good game, placing 4th overall on their end. So that is a really good. So let's see what will be happening in the final games right now. But a massive achievement across the board. Hopefully we can actually get cards POV for that off-spawn situation that's happening there by Craggy. Because we did see a couple of bullfights happening, but unfortunately, we won't be able to see any of that. So let's go over to Poxy and Proxy, who is one of the duos across the tournament right now. Loadout looking pretty much decent. Proxy finding himself a free elimination as it seems. He jumps straight into the vehicle though. What could be the play here for the team? Does look like Proxy's gonna jump into the turret over there. That's definitely gonna put a lot of pressure on the team right now. Movement really doing good for Proxy. Aim, on the other hand, not so good. Oof. Oh, just talk about luck. Proxy's able to come through with a one pump, and able to situate that over there. Well, GG's across the books over there, right there. Let's go over to the players, Piano and Lurker. We did see them in an off-spawn situation last time around, but it doesn't look like that's the case right here. As you guys can see, they've sort of disengaged from the mini base and made their way all the way straight into Weeping, which is by far a good decision because it was highly contested in that situation over there. If you guys want to enter the giveaway, it is a 30-day no, 30-day Exitlag code that will be raffled at the end of the stream. You don't need to be in the stream to win the raffle. However, we will contact you and send you the code to be redeemed. And then again, massive thank you to each and every one of you guys that has already liked. 80 likes across the board. Thank you so much. If you guys haven't already, smash that like button, hit that subscribe, and turn on post notifications, because tomorrow at 3 p.m. same time today, we'll be going live with the semi-finals too. And there's still so much sauce to be unraveled over there as well. Going over to Rejects and then Catty Corner and Travis really doing well. Guys, give me 1 second. I got to do something, but you can have a good look at Rejects and Travis. I mean, back. It does look like the loadout here for Rejects, guys. Purple Pump, not really the desired loadout that you usually look for when it comes to Travis and Rejects. Usually the case is you find the best Purple Pump for Rejects, you hand it down to him, and he will show you what magic is all about. That is the Rejects we love to games and so forth. For the team over here, Bojo and CK, it doesn't look like they've stopped the W King, B-Boy and Morg on their end. You can see Bojo's very much aggressive, dancing around across the place right now, trying to find where Morg could possibly be at. And it is a solo player left alone over here, guys, so disaster across the board. It does look like somebody's rotating in a vehicle over there, so that's going to be interesting to see what happens. But the hunt for Bojo and CK is just beginning. It's as if the oh, let's just see what happens here with Bojo and CK, because it does look like Gloves finds himself with a knock himself. Oh, nice. They've managed to break the player down, literally. And beams with CK. What are we watching? As CK has unraveled a huge amount of damage to his opposition right now. Managing to crack him. The other player on the far skirts over there. CK just trying to get as much elims as he can possibly. But Bojo as well. With the move, he's able to get closer to his enemies quick. It's all about healing, taking this time to fight over here. Ooh, tough here. Oh my god, CK with the piece control. He managed to get that player in a little bit of a box. And CK is able to come through with a huge pump on him. Bojo cleans it up. The teammate now of the opposition is here to say, I'm gonna try help you. But it's not gonna be enough as he gets eliminated full on. And now the W key is on yet again as they immerse themselves into the launch pad to make a jump for the next zone right now. Unfortunately, it does look like that has come to an end with a massacre of gameplay from CK. CK is able to, you know, present a little box for his opposition. Just a decent little present. Sends him in that box and puts him back into the lobby. That's how it's done and that's how it's played out. What a massive gameplay that we just witnessed from CK. Ooh, that was quite close of a shot coming in play for Gloves right now. Purple pump, purple scar. No, blue pump, purple scar over there. Looking really decent loadout. Max Mats as well has 3 big pots and 4 minis. Psycho and them are on the verge of literally trying to dominate the entire lobby. Well, there is the question. Let's go on board with Switch and Stale just to have a little bit of a look on what's happening on their end. It does look like they are sitting on top of oppositions and they can rail in some ammunition onto the opposition. Ooh! And so freestyler now. No more commentary, guys. Now, I'm only kidding. Never will I stop commentating on the best game in South Africa, and that is the Fortnite competitive game. And I can only do this thanks to the sponsors of the tournament, LITE Gaming, Exitlag, as well as Zorea, for organizing a massive tournament here for you guys. 9,000 rand across the board. That will be going through into the finals on the 28th of August. So let's see what will be happening. Which 25 first teams will be making it into the second aspect over here. As that time ticks down, 56 players as well are ticking. It's a time bomb before all these players get very aggressive right over here. So rejects, let's go see what's happening on their POV, where they positioned and so forth. Does look like a comfortable position for them. positioning himself. It does look like we got rotations that head in the direction of Misty in a way. But let's go over to Popku. Has apparently he is or was getting W keyed. I don't know if that's still the case right now. It doesn't look like it though. Looks like he's very much comfortable in this position over here, and he's currently first place. Popku and Latte, they've been doing really well in the tournament. Very much consistent across the board as well, and that's what wins you games. I mean, you can see they're just farming up all their mats and so forth, and getting into a good position which they need to start rotating very soon. But yeah, Popcool Latte, you know, they've come together for a very long time now, and they've been doing extremely well across the board. They haven't won in duos yet, but they've done well, extremely well in trios. They've, you know, made a name for themselves at Catty Corner with consistency, and we can maybe see that consistency play out here today in the semi-finals, because they are first right now. But you know, like I mentioned to you guys, it doesn't matter with semi-finals and qualifiers whether you come first or not, because that's not where the bragging rights and the prize pool counts. The bragging rights and prize pool in the finals on 28th of August. Put a time in your calendar, guys, because it's gonna be crazy to witness what a type of gameplay will be played out within the sub-Saharan Africa. I say sub-Saharan Africa, guys, because we don't only have South Africans taking part in here. We also got Namibians, Kenyans, you know, Ghana, all these guys coming together to form a whole complete community. That community keeps growing day by day. So we as in the LITE Pro Series, thanks you guys so much for the love and support that you guys keep showing us. And then again, to the sponsors of the event, like Gaming, Zureya, and Exitlag, to, you know, contribute to a new form of LITE or new form of tournament for the LITE Champion Series. It is gonna be the LITE Duo Winter Cup that we have on our hands over here, guys. Let's go over to Glubs in Psycho. And just as we do, we can see them focusing heavily over here. Players keeps getting chopped down, and they managed to lose their opposition right now. But I don't think it was ever for the elimination. It was solely so that they can get themselves sort of these mats over here, the mats that they require. I mean, even when it comes down to mobility, maybe they utilize some of that over there. But 41 players remain right now, and we are going into the fourth zone. Force 4 of the players right now. The fifth zone, and Coast Flash gets eliminated. Glubs is able to unravel some good aim over there and take a last shot at Ghost Flash. That elimination hasn't come through just yet. There we go. Ghost Flash finally being eliminated 100%. That's Psycho actually with the confirmation. But Aiden Ross Glubs over here, guys, found himself in a really good position. Psycho is taking a lot of damage over here. Psycho now needs to heal up. And we do have the players Rejects and Travis on the heightened positions right here, guys, where they also do get the 50-50 zone. So we can literally see and see what this is all about. We haven't seen a Travis and Rejects endgame, but now we do finally get to see that. So the new alliance here, guys, in the duo tournament, premiering as a duo, is Travis and Rejects, and then Bravado and Woke now form alliance. It also sort of makes it a perfect match because they're in the same organization. So it makes it really, really nice. Making sure just to stay on the highest of heights over here. Highest of heights. Travis and Rejects will be soon making those first moving zone rotations. We are now down to 33 players. Let's see what comes beforehand over here. Oh, he does get a knock over here, so Travis sprays and sprays and he gets an elimination some way or another, and they get moving zone. Just how much RNG can a team have over here, guys? We got 15 seconds until that zone starts rotating. Players moving left, right, and center, and that's a really good dead side rotation. But Travis and Rejects are not allowing for unattention rotation to come through, as they will be unraveling most of their shots on these players who make those rotations right now. But 31 players remain, and there's that zone shrinkage coming into play. It is your moving zone with 31 players across the board, and it's a 54 head ding with a Travis right now, and Travis now making those plays to eliminate, but unfortunately unable to connect anything, finally hitting for 36. And there's Rick and Morty, probably Lurker, making that rotation in the sky as well. And now Travis needs to stay ahead of zone, which he does so successfully. It's almost a form of art watching Rejects and Travis make these rotations, because they know how to control height. They know when to utilize a short launch or a high launch, whatever the case may be. And for the team right now, it's none of that. It's staying ahead of zone and unraveling an amount of ammunition onto their opposition. Man, I should stop saying that. It's already too much for me. But you can see now, 25 players remain. These players are dropping like flies. Players using launch pads. It's the opportunity to beam right now on these kids here. Just marking just to notify Rejects that, hey, we may have potential players who are looking to steal height from us. He wants to connect, and he does so successfully. Almost out of mats over here. 110 hot mats. These players drop like flies, and that's what's so nice about being on height, guys, is that you never really get any attention from low ground, because they're all too focusing on their rotation. And Travis with another elimination on his end. Player unfortunately looking to run out of mats for himself. And you can now see Travis here dropping down just to sort of focus more on that rotation. The second level of height right now, making sure that they control this beautiful form of art that they have on their hands right here. 11 players remaining, and it's still Travis and Rejects remaining on height, controlling that gameplay for them right now. And he gets dropped 5, a brick for himself to place across the map over here, and they can form up the trees to acquire a little bit more mats as well. But what's nice is that they have these parasites going into the end game, so that would mean if they get into a 50-50, it's almost as if they're gonna win it, because players usually tend to aim for the head. That there won't count because it will protect you in the instances over there. So now Rejects and Travis just focusing on height right on the low grounds right now. Praying and spraying, as there is 7 players remaining right now, and they've only grabbed 5 eliminations across the board for their team. There goes the action on the low ground. Players getting wiped out as it stands, and it does look like Piano manages to knock out Gloves. So Gloves and Psycho making it all the way into the end game aspects, but it's Psycho left alone as a solo, as Piano is able to literally wipe out Gloves in that instance over there. Nice pump from Travis. You just love to see it. Travis honestly getting the best that he can right now. And these players are messing with the wrong team on low ground right now. It's Travis. He gets a huge pump on the opposition. And he's missing and waffling all his shots. Will Travis be able to clean up? No, Travis unfortunately not able to do so as he waffles a couple shots on his end over there. But it's Rejects to say, I got you, and it's a 1v1 situation. Goliath Rejects against who knows who. But he's now making his way to try get up himself a heal off as he utilizes all his heals. And there you go. It is a heal off going in favor of him. And Travis and Rejects wins that game from literally one of the best controlled games that we witnessed across over there. So massive scenes across over there from the boys, Goliath, Travis, and Goliath Rejects. GG's to all the players over there making it into those end games. I just gotta fix my green screen. There you go. But wow, talk about a gameplay that we had on our hands over there. Massive opportunity to grab a winning victory royale, guys. But that will be the game for game number 3. We still got game 4 and 5, so let's see after the leaderboard, after the game number 3, where these players do stand after the break and so forth. If you guys are just joining us, you want to win yourself a nice study day Exitlag code, do so by using !raffle, and you'll be able to get into that position there. Guys, I'm going to take a little bit of a short break while we set up game number 4. And this would mean that we're almost done with semifinals day number 1, or semifinals 1, which would mean we would be knowing who our first 25 teams will be making it into the finals, which will be happening on the 28th of August. Guys, see you soon. Take care.
My whole life through.
what a GG's on for the game over there, guys. Massive, 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 massive. Rejects, honestly, clutching that situation. You have to love it solely because Travis just could not aim. I mean, yeah, it is crazy that Rejects was in that position at the right time. And you can see what he was generally going for, was a heal off. He grabbed himself a chug cannon and he made his way over to another chug cannon if he needed to reuse for healing and so forth. But was not the case as the opposition had managed to die before that happened. So we'll be going over onto another game, which is game number 4, guys, and that will be starting in just a minute. So let's go and see what is happening across the board on the leaderboard, whether or not these players have made it into winning positions. Let's see. So give that bit a little bit of a refresh over there. And we can see now Big 5X Punishers with that consistency. 160 points. Travis and Rejects grabbed themselves a mega game, having not getting into game number 2. They're now sitting on 134 points. LVX Scene, Zello, and Delects now on 126. Latte and Popcool with 126. LITE X Punishers with 160. So that is your top 5 positions as it stands right there, and it can only get better from here on outwards in terms of the action across the board. So let's go and see what that really means in terms of where these players do land and so forth. So we can go back on board with Proxy and Poxy as they need to make the rotations for themselves. This game, number 4, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you guys are in for a So we saw B-Boy take game number 1. We don't know who exactly took game number 2. It has to be either Card and Dabs with that 72-point game that they got. And then in game number 3, it goes over to Travis and Rejects, who they also managed to grab a couple eliminations and a win on their end. So that's a GG's across the books over there. It does look like they are contested yet again. Poxy and Proxy back at it with some off-spawn action. So it does look like they skip completely and they don't go mini base. It also does look like Proxy's a bit AFK, so unfortunately Proxy won't be in this position over here. Let's see how Wonder One Shot are doing in over here. It does look like it's a very much off spawn, no fighting zones for them. So we'll leave them and go over to Extinct Dojo, who are also in a no fighting zone. Trying to look for more fighting for you guys, so you guys can what is happening between all these players. But while we do so, just look at that leaderboard, and there we go. I think we may have found some players Infernal in them, and we'll bring them on the leaderboard on the screen for you guys right now here at in Retail Row. So he is zooming in and out on his oppositions, I think. If not, we can keep searching though. I think that should be the play, to keep on searching. Kratos and Seaboy as well. Going Toilet Factory. Doesn't look like there's anyone there on their end either way. It's weird. There's nobody who's fighting with spawn. So I went through everyone's POV that we have, and nobody's sort of fighting of spawn. We're literally 4 likes away from 100, guys. So if you guys could smash that like button, as well as subscribe and turn on post notifications, would really appreciate. By the way, guys, if you guys haven't known, there is a raffle going on in the stream for 30 days Exitlag, which I'm pretty sure you guys are very much interested on to win that one. So go on then and enter !raffle in the chat, and you should be entered into the giveaway. Everyone is sort of chilling off spawn and having a good farming time. Everyone's sort of in a good position. Can only wait until endgame to get those fun moments for you guys. Sail and Swish getting a special chest. Let's see exactly what they get. Hopefully some spazzes or purple tacks. That was quite smooth. Probably they get good loot. Oof. Fortnite smack at the hand right there of these guys, because they did that extremely quickly, but unfortunately unable to get themselves any good loot. So Sail and Swish surviving off spawn here at Bony Burbs. I wonder where Thingy has taken. Oh, does look like we're gonna get some action here on Sail and Swish. So actually in this position, it's Swish and Stale versus Temperat and Zoro. And it doesn't look like it's going to come down to what we expected to, you know? Nice steady one tag coming in from Swish. We're going over to another fight quickly while these two sort of disengaged in a way. We can see that Race and Luke are also in a fight. There goes a launchpad jump onto the players right now. Oof, doesn't look like it's gonna be happening. Let's go on Temperat's and Zoro's POV just to see what's happening over there for them. Ooh, we just missed that. Has Dale and Swish been eliminated in the space of 5 seconds? It does look so indeed. So Temperat and Zoro sort of clutch up so quickly, and we just missed that action. GG's to Temperat for grabbing a win over there. Popco and Latte now finding themselves in a position, a nice 66 damage on their end. Now Popco building up all the way on high to have the advantage against his opposition. Tries to claim the wall, but unfortunately just does not place that over there. He needs to heal up, and you can see Latte picks up a kill on his end. That's amazing. So now it's a 2v1 situation. Latte is sort of getting pressured right now, and Latte 2v1s. So Inferno gets eliminated over there. Latte takes all that damage and all that credibility in this fight as they're able to walk out with 2 kills in a mid-game fight right there. So massive shout to Latte for doing that. You can see Popku can line up a snipe over there, and he gets an elimination right now. It does look like they can make the opportunity for a W key, and hopefully they do, because that just means more action across the board. Trying to get that pre-fire movement, but unfortunately unable to do so. Does look like they disengage from that completely. I mean, I do understand the zone is moving in 51 seconds. That could potentially be Temperat and Zoro, no? I mean, if we go over to Temperat right now and we see their skins. Okay, no, it's definitely not them. But Temperat finding himself slowly into another fight, and Piano gets a kill over there for himself. So let's go over to Piano in the kill feed. Just saw him pick up a knock, and it does look like they get the elimination either way. So unfortunately we missed that, but now sitting on 3 eliminations mid-game, that's exactly where you want to be. Clubs and Psycho honestly have been playing so well today, and you can see that consistency on the leaderboard. They find themselves first. Not making the decision to key instead of playing for more consistency. Really good decision coming out from the team right now. Does look like Psycho and Clubs finding themselves in a double key position, trying to corner their teams right now. Oh, and he does get the wall over here, so he can get an elimination. They do so successfully, and it's Psycho who manages to grab that 2v1, and we are seeing teams and teammates clutch up moments successfully. Bojo in a fight right now. Let's go over to Bojo quickly to see what's happening over there on his end. It actually does look like they come out of that situation, and they now need to make the rotation to zone. It is a 1 ticker for now, but anytime now it will become a 2 ticker. So So let's see what will be happening right there. They can kill up, they can make that rotation and so forth. Let's let them do that, and we'll go over on board with Goliath, Rejects, and Travis, the game victory winners for game number 3. Let's see how they do this time around. Does look like Travis and Reject sort of find themselves in a tough position here. Go over back to Clubs, where we did see them sort of in a fighting position almost, but no, nothing of that sort comes from them. Oh, player tries to W key. Now you're finding Clubs and a Psycho in a box fight situation. The peanut butter edit, unfortunately, not going in their favor. That wall gets taken away, and now Gloves needs to 1v2. He does one. It's Agency, Luca, and Dequov. But a third parties will be getting involved over there. Launchpad from Sensei going all the way over here to Luca and Dequov. So Luca and Dequab finding themselves in a bit of a situation, even though they just got an elimination on Psycho. This sort of griefs their game though, because they were in a first place position on the semi-finals 1 position. Beautiful scenes that we had over there. Just a massacre of gameplay happening across the board over there. Latte and Popco on there, and they praying and spraying for some players to drop dead somewhere or another. Ooh, almost getting the beams over there from Popco. But Popco and Latte are just W king as it stands right now. They get that wall. Making sure to extend out quite nicely as well. Let's go over to Tembrat Zoro as their W key players right now. You can see sort of entering into a box fight situation. Tembrat claiming walls over here. Taking piece by piece. Trying to get the slightest peek on this player to get that headshot on this guy. Being careful just in case they will get eliminated over here. I saw Matt or Loot to the side of them. Chasing down this single individual must be pressured moments. They choose to disengage. It's just loadouts and not mats, but it does need an elimination here, Timberup, because he's quite low. Trying to double key at the same time, not giving off too much attention to what's around them, because Zara needs to get on Temperat so they can claim this wall, but it does look like it's launch pads either way, going into the opposition's favor. Now it's Temperat and Zara can do the same, hopefully without the chance of being beamed. Does look like he's going to try land on the player right here. Unfortunately, misses the golden opportunity to secure a heavy pump on the guy's face over there. So unfortunately, that is what we're going to get altogether. Fish and Stale, I forgot, eliminated across the board already. Popcorn and Latte was showing some aggressive gameplay for themselves, now sitting on 5 eliminations. Oh my god, Popku with the headshot snipe. What a crazy moment here that we got to witness live on stream. They get their elimination as well, now sitting on 6. But just talk about a clutch moment to secure his team some kill points. Does look like Latte's been absolutely beamed. They stick together so they can heal up, which is a really good sign. Let's go over to LITE, CK, and Bojo to see what's happening with their POV. Does look like they get eliminated. Travis and Rejects, the 4th game winners right now. Let's see what's happening over there. Does look like they're alive. They utilize the launch pad as well. Let's go over to Travis POV because it's not that laggy actually. Rejects and them on a middle layer for themselves. Still looking very much decent on mats. They also got 2 launch pads to their name. But we did give the highlight and spectate to Travis and Rejects over there. So let's give it to Popcool and Latte. For some weird reason, Warrior is on my mind right now. But Popcool and Latte making some good, decent rotations for them, and they have a decent amount of mats as well as HP. 160 HP sitting on Popcool, 180 sort of on Latte over there. So decent to get into the end games, and he's utilized a couple cabbage eating and so forth, and there goes some for Popcool as well. But nice layer to find themselves on, not being that hard for focus. They drop down even further to sort of find themselves almost close to low ground, maybe even the opportunity to grab some eliminations here. But why would they need that? Because they are sitting on 7 eliminations. And probably top 6 as it stands right now. But it's 9 eliminations and Popcorn with the beam. Talk about that aim. He's able to grab himself a couple dinks and body shots to literally almost wipe out. But now he needs an elimination more so desperately because he's out of mats. But at least LITE can continue that rotation for the team right now. And he's going to need to continue rotating into these zones. And the only thing Popcorn here can do is frag out like a madman. He is. Use his tack, use his AR to get his team more kills and points. As well as mats going forth into the next body. They drop down all the way to low ground. He jumps into a player's box and these guys get a huge surprise. It's Goliath, Travis and Rejects who get eliminated, but Rejects manages to clutch up on his end. Let's go quickly to that aspect over there, and it does look like, however, Rejects will be dying second, and that will be the gameplay that we have over there. We don't know who won. It was an anonymous player, but we'll look at the stats and statistics. But for Popcorn and LITE, it was aggression from the beginning. You know, they set the tone from the beginning of game number 4 to get 9-10 eliminations on their name. Like Travis even been one of the players to feel the rate of that aggressive plays. But Rejects responded well with that pre-fire, and that was able to secure them a second place on the game number 4. And definitely with Cyclone Gloves getting eliminated so early on, they're definitely going to lose that first place position now, because Travis and Rejects were crawling up behind Cyclone Gloves with that games over there. But what a consistent game that we are witnessing from Travis and Rejects, grabbing second place after, you know, not getting into game number 2. They're still very much consistent. Game 1, 62 points. Game 3, 72 points. Game 4, 60, 50. Who knows? We're going to only have to wait and find out. But if you guys are joining the stream, there's a 30-day Exitlag code that you guys could win at the end of this tournament. We are going into the very last game where we'll be crowning the semi-finals winner. But it doesn't mean anything unless it was the finals. But we'll be back, guys, with a little bit of a short break, jumping into game number 5. Okay, guys, now we're going literally into the very last moments of the semifinals one. And I know for sure you guys are saddened about this. I am too. I mean, we always want to see more action across the board. But, guys, don't know, you guys can come through tomorrow at 3 p.m. where we'll be jumping on board with the likes of Neymar, and the likes of Neymar. So, now I'm only kidding. There's so many players, guys, for semifinals 2 as well. The top 50 going into semifinals 2 is quite sweaty. I mean, I thought this lobby was going to be a lot more harder, but it does look like it's balanced out. Nobody's really needing to deal a lot of storm damage, but I can guarantee you it's going to be a different scene for finals, and we know this. South Africans just love playing a lot more harder in the first few games of finals. But let's look at that prize pool, guys, for the 28th of August. Finals will be happening on the 28th of August on this very same channel, the same YouTube channel that you guys are watching right now will be live, and 9,000 Rand will be the prize pool given to the first 3 teams. So first place taking 5,000 Rand, second taking 2,800, third taking 1,200, and it is sponsored by LITE Gaming, Exitlag, as well as Zaraya. So you guys need to make sure to give them the love and attention they need over there. On top of everything, guys, this is where everyone sort of stands right now. LVX seen in first place. Tyler the Lex playing so consistent. I mean, I thought Rejects and them had enough points to win, but it seems not, as it is a 2-point difference between two. So literally a race on our hands as we head into the very last game that we have for you guys. Popcorn and Latte not far behind, actually tied with Travis and Rejects. I don't think we've ever had a close semifinals like this ever, because 2 points to separate first and third. And fourth, obviously, due to the bad game, or not bad game, but being WQ'd in the worst possible way. Psycho and Glubs losing that first place position. LTE, which is LITE X FA, is Tem and Zorro, where they had a massive game for themselves. Alfie Gaming, Piano, and Lurker as well, making some consistent gameplay across the board. For CK Bojo, it is sort of a downwards placement for them. Extinct in 8th, Low Swervy, Sensi in 9th, and then Bepoy and Morg in 10th. I mean, having such a massive game, number one, they seem to sort of go downwards afterwards, but making somewhat a decent comeback for themselves. Let's go jump on board, guys, with Xylo Deluxe to see how their game is gonna be. Did you guys screen share? Doesn't look. There we go. So we're gonna have their POV for you guys opened over here while they jump into the games very soon. And 72 players will be jumping out the battle bus with them as well. But yeah, that is literally where the leaderboard is gonna be right now for these guys over here, guys. So it does look like we're gonna be having the players jumping anytime soon. And before that actually happens, welcome. If you guys don't know what you're tuning into, it is the semifinals last game on our hands, however, of the tournament. It is going to be LITE Winter Duo Cup, the first and foremost series of the LITE Champion Series. Hopefully, we'll be seen soon or from LITE Gaming. But this is first and many more to come. And yeah, a really huge congratulations to those of you who made it all the way to semifinals. Now, congratulations after this game, those of them who will be making it into the finals on the 28th of August. If you guys want to enter into a 30-day Exitlag giveaway, make sure to use !raffle and we'll be drawing the winner at the end of today's stream. So that's going to be interesting over there. But let's go jump on board with the players as we do hear the battle boss, we hear the noise, we see that these guys are ready to jump in. Does look like a castle, a drop for them. Does look like the off-spawn situation for Xylo and Delex is really good for them. I mean, they've got a really good position that they find themselves in. Let's go see what Org is up to right here. Org and them have been W key quite a number of times actually from Bojo and CK. I mean, it's been crazy that they've made it out a live couple games because I mean it's been tough for them across the board either way. 64 players across the board, and Popka and LITE just sort of forming up quite well over here. Let's go over to Glubs and Psycho, where you know they had a tough game number 4 for themselves, which essentially also costed them the entire win of the semi-finals. But nothing has been lost over here in terms of the game. If they do manage to win the game with a significant amount of kills, that is possible to grab first place because they're only 20 points behind. They'll have to make sure that, you know, the players, Rejects, Raven, Travis and them die off spawn mid-game somewhere or another, like Xylo and Delex. They need to find themselves being eliminated. Question is, will they be able to get eliminated? And I highly doubt they will, but let's go across the board, guys, to all these other players. You know, you also got Race and Genie FPS in this tournament over here. And everyone, or sort of the pro players, utilizing the Parasite to their advantages. Genie and Race, a new duo in the competitive environment, you know, sort of making a premiere here in the LITE Duo Winter Cup. It's literally come down to this very last moment, this last game, to sort of make a name for yourself in the semifinals, set dominance, if that's a thing for the finals. But what I like a lot is that, you know, these semifinals mean nothing because, you know, like, we got semifinals 2 tomorrow, and some of these players are happy that they're landing uncontested. They're like, oh, uncontested, nobody's landing here, I'm safe and so forth. But should be honest, you're not really safe, because semifinals 2 is tomorrow, and then you can learn about where the rest of the players will be landing. Some strats that we haven't been really seen across the board is Temperat and them, who will be utilizing the rotation over here. So let's see exactly what will be coming into play. Just look at how broken the Ferrari can be. They go from Holly all the way to where Slurpy Swamp is. And it's a clean rotation from them. Massive rotation, in fact. And they can actually buy gold for 100 over there from that vending machine. I mean, they can buy a purple pump for 100 over there from the vending machine. But yeah, so that is your Temperat and Doro rotation out of Holly into Slurpy Swamp, and within seconds. Now back on Travis and Rejects, one of the game winners over here. Happy to see them in this position. So Goliath, Travis, and Rejects, you know, landing Catty, 45 players remaining. Their loadout always seems sort of tough. I mean, do see them a couple of times coming out of caddy with a great pump. Just imagine that being a POI you desire. But more so on the bright side, they loadout in terms of rotation looks very, very well. 6 red peppers. I mean, what more can you ask for in terms of rotating, moving zones, and so forth? It does look like Travis now sort of making his way into a fighting position, and he's getting a shot from who knows where. Will he use it is the question. Will he jump out onto... Oh my god, 105 snipe from Travis, and Travis now has the upper hand in terms of damage over here. Rejects quite far, however, from Travis, and Travis is left alone to sort of 1v2 in a situation. He uses a red pepper instead of launch padding, which is really good. What you want to see, the disengage coming into play. He has to utilize a lot of his mats over here, and Travis and Rejects sort of meet halfway, but for Rejects, he's finding himself in another battle, and now like these oppositions need to sort of fight each other right now. And there's a nice 36 white from Travis as Rejects deals most of that damage right now. Fortunately for Travis, he hits direct on the head, but it's not going to inflict any damage whatsoever onto the opposition. Hey, it's a brother love over there. Let's go over to CK and Bojo. Some games, when it's dark, it's extremely dark. Let's look over here at CK's POV. Trying to take snipes at oppositions. Ooh. While making the rotations over here, it does look like they are kind of held in zone over here. But Bojo finds a good pathway for himself, and he's able to make the rotation. The mat count, honestly, on CK is quite bad. But Bojo now being sort of damaged quite heavily. He's on 4 HP. And CK is dealing damage to oppositions that isn't even related to Bojo, I don't think. Bojo right here needs to meet up, or CK needs to meet up with Bojo so that he's in a better position. Daichi's taking fights here separately, but now Bojo finally finding CK. They can take the fights together. At least Bojo's able to use that med kit. Now third party sort of getting involved over here. Does get a knock, which is where you want to be, and that's Ian, if I'm not mistaken, getting eliminated over there. Two big floppers for them to kill, and Bojo's able to use those heals as well. Good mat count as well from the simulation, and it's a third party coming involved right now, and CK literally down to 50 HP. They need to expand out quite more because they're in a tough position. DK still hasn't had the time to heal, so if he gets tickled, so much has tickled, he will be eliminated. Non-stop action across the board over here for Bojo and CK. But at least they find themselves some time and peace and quiet to make those rotations out. Let's go over to Popcool and LITE. See where these players are positioned, and they on the side of the mountain ramping upwards. There's a massive rotation here for the team. I mean, they're using quite a lot of builds, and they don't have that much utility as well. I mean, or mat count for themselves. But now they're able to respond back in a way to say, listen, man, you shot at me, and now I'm gonna shoot back at you. They drop down all the way to low ground to sort of eliminate these players, and they do so cleanly. Worth it, honestly. Absolute beam, Popcool yet again. Popcool here trying to beam as much as he can, trying to get as much eliminations as they rain some ammunition right here, and these players sort of finding themselves in a pressured moment as it's 35 white. Could they get this elimination is the question, and unfortunately it does look like it's not them who's able to pick up that elim, but they're still going to be raining down some ammo over here, and they knew that oppositions would still be focusing them quite severely over there. Now 26 players remain in the first moving zone. Doesn't look like it goes in favor of Popcool and LITE, and they don't have that much mats at hand to make that first moving zone rotation. In fact, at least they have a launch pad in the back pocket, and LITE going all the way onto the kill and put themselves in a really good position to stay ahead of zone. Who else is alive in this position? Hopefully, we are able to see a Temperat POV for this very last game over here. So let's go over on board with Temperat as they are on height. Temperat and Zorro with a fantastic rotation with the Ferrari, now finding himself in a really good position on height over here in the very last moment of the game. And he's got an AUG in the back pocket of him and an AUG on the controller. It's just not going to look pretty. Even that, he's got the rapid fire, and it does look like, however, Zorro is going to fall down to full damage, it does look like. And a nice 183 damage. He's able to still secure height on his end. And will we see the beast of Temperat come out here for us, guys? Let's see whether or not this will be happening. But he's already beamed a couple of these players. All he needed to do was deal a minimum of like 20 to 30 more HP, and they would have been dead. But he's dropping down all the way to low, losing quite a lot of HP, and it's just gonna be absolutely... Oh my god, I don't even know what to describe that, but he got absolute beam and he got eliminated on his end. And the end game we love to see here is Bojo and CK left alive in this one. CK finding himself in a tough position, but he's able to reunite with Bojo, and Bojo and them having some tough games for themselves quite a number of times. And just look at that, I think that was either LITE or Popco getting eliminated, I'm not entirely sure, but I only think so. And now players decide to jump heads in on these players, and it's Genie and Race who's gonna get eliminated over here. Doesn't look like it's enough for CK to get out of zone. Will he manage to do so successfully? And oh, surprise, surprise, Race and Genie just jumped into the players' boxes, but CK was able to at least grab himself an elimination and as well as a chug cannon over there on that board. But it's placement focus right now on CK as he rotates with four other players. He needs to start making a rotation up the hill right now out of mats. Player jumps straight onto him. He gets second place. 5 eliminations across the board. Bojo with 2. And that is the semi-finals one, guys, over here for you guys. And I hope you guys did enjoy that little bit of action, as I did very much. But you guys are probably wondering, what is the play for the raffle? And we'll show you guys 63 entries, by the way, and only one will be walking away with a prize pool giveaway. So let's actually open this up over here and show you guys who will be the winner over there. So 63 entries. If you guys still want to grab your last moment over here, I'll give you guys a couple 1 minute until we draw the winner. But a massive GG's across the board, guys. The winner for the raffle, !raffle in the chat, guys. If you guys want to enter, we're gonna be giving you guys the last moments over here to do so. So let's see exactly what will be happening. And we're going to be doing the giveaway in just a bit over here, guys. Giving you guys some time to actually get into this position. !raffle if you guys would like to enter. Massive things. I think we're going to draw the winner now. Let's do that. So drawing the winner in 3, 2, 1, and 0, guys. So the winner for the 30-day giveaway of the Exitlag is going to be, and I'm seeing a lot of people enter now, so we'll draw the winner now. Close, and now we pick a winner, Lamal. So Nikki is your winner. Nikki is your winner, guys. Who is this? Is Nikki in the chat? Is Nikki in the chat? Nikki has won. If Nikki is in the chat and able, because I have no idea who this person is. Okay, Nikki has won the giveaway. Oh, uh, or give the person time to type in the chat over there. Cool. Yeah. Well, I guess that's the winner. And again, yeah, please, everyone, don't forget to leave a like on the stream. There's a 1 minute delay at maybe the person's just not around. Either way, it's fine. If the person is, we just want to get your guys' contact details. Want to get the contact details, so I'm just gonna leave this open over here for some time because unfortunately we don't know who Nikki is. We don't know who Nikki is. I'm seeing chat getting a bit anxious right now. Daniel, what's up? Okay, we're gonna pick another winner, guys, because we don't know who Nikki is. So we have to pick another winner. It's actually Race. Race, and we know who Race is. So Race, congratulations on your 30-day Exitlag. Unfortunately, we have to pick up another winner, guys. So Race, congratulations on your 30-day code and a funny moment actually over there. So yeah, but yeah, again, thank you to each and every one of you guys for all the likes across the board. 111 in total. So I have to say a huge thank you to everyone. And yeah, we will definitely be live again tomorrow at 3 p.m. Make sure you guys tune in. This has been a fun show, and I hope you guys did enjoy that. We will be signing out with the semifinals one being a wrap.